Hello guys and welcome back. In this video we will continue doing our UI system, and this time we will make sure that our health bar and also the coin system will be updated every time. Alright, so let's start doing that right now. Alright, so first of all, just go to the player HUD that we created, and then let's see what we have in here. Alright, so right here, if you look at the right side, you can see that we've got two tabs in here. One of them is the designers tab and the other one is the graph tab. Alright, so the designer tab is this one, the things that we can design and put it into our screen. Alright, and the graph tab is just like the other blueprints that we could write our codes in here. You see that this is an event graph. We can create functions, we've got variables and things like that. So we can do our codes in here and we can do our design for our UI in here. So right now what we want to do is to be able to update that coin value and also update that health bar by the values that we had earlier. Alright, so in order to update this health bar and the coin value, we've got two different ways to do it. Alright, so one of them is by the binding in here. Alright, it is this one, the binding in here. We can do that with the binding, and also for the health bar we can do it on the peasant with binding. But the problem with binding is that it keeps updating every single frame. So for example, if your game gives you 60 FPS, it means that in every second it's gonna be updated 60 times. So that will be a lot, and that will be an overhead for your game. All right, so that means the binding of the health bar and the coin value will be updated every frame. So this will be 60 times in a second, this will be 60 times in a second, and there will be some other things that will make a lot of overhead on your system, and that will not be so good. But we have another way to do it. All right, the second way is to do it by making variables. All right, and this time, instead of calling it every frame, we can call it whenever we want. So whenever we get hit, we want to call the health bar and we want to, update its value. All right, so when we get hit or when we get to a healing bush, we want to update our health value. We don't want to update it every single frame. And also for our coin system, whenever we hit a coin, all right, we want to collect the coin and then update that coin value. We don't want to update it every single frame. But just to show you both of the ways, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the health bar and also the coin value with the variable system, and also we will have a lives count in here. Then we will do the lives count with the binding. All right, just remember that the binding will do it every single frame. It's not very good for everything, so don't overdo it. All right, but I want to show you both of the ways so that you learn both of them and you decide whenever you want to use one or the other. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Select the coin value, and in here you can see that there is something next to the name which is called is variable. Make sure to select that, check it, and also go to the health bar, make sure that is selected as well. Hit compile and then hit save, and then go to the graph. All right, here in the graph what we want to do is to create custom events for ourselves for updating our UI. All right, so we will create our own custom events that we will call them whenever we pick up a coin or whenever we get hit. All right, so whenever we get hit, we will call this custom event and then they will update our coin system. All right, so let's do it now. All right, so right click in here and then type add custom event. All right, and then type what should we call it? Maybe we call it update coin UI, right? And then let me take it to this side and also add another one. Right click and then type add custom event and then type update health UI. All right, so let me take it to here, and we've got the update coin UI and we've got the update health UI. So first of all, let's do the update coin UI. All right, so what we want to do with the coin UI, we want our custom event to have an input. All right, that input will be the coin value. All right, the coin value that we have stored in our game mode. We want to give it in here, and then we want to update our UI with that value. All right, so what we want to do in here is to select the update coin UI and then create an input in here. All right, and then call the input to be coin value. Right, coin value, and make sure that the coin value is not a boolean and it is an integer. And after that, what we want to do, hit compile and then hit save. And because we made our coin value in here to be a variable, all right, because we made our coin value to be a variable, it's gonna be shown in here. All right, you see that coin value, grab it in here and take it here and select get coin value. All right, and after that, what we want to do, we want to change the text in the coin value, isn't it? So for example, in here we've got the text. All right, if you select the coin value, we've got the text. We want to update this coin value to other numbers, for example 666. All right, so go to the graph, and what you want to do is grab that pin and then type set text. All right, we want to set that text to another value. Just connect those, and then let me take it to here, and then you see that coin value, just grab it and put it into the in text and take it down. You see that it's gonna convert the value of the coin because it's an integer. It will convert it to a text, and then the text will go to the set text, which is in here. The text will be set to another value. All right, so every time we call this function, it's gonna set our text to another value. Let me hit compile and then hit save, and then go to the update health UI. All right, so with that one, we want to do the same. We want to create an input and then call the input to be health value. All right, and after that, what we want to do is to get our health bar and take it to here and select get. And also what we want to do, what do we want to change in the health bar? If you see that in here, let me select my health bar, and you see that we want to change our percent, isn't it? But you can see that our percent is not from 0 to 100, it is from 0 to 1. But our health system, all right, our health in the ball, let me see where our ball is. All right, let me open it up, and you can see that the ball health is from 0 to 100, isn't it? Right now it is, by default, is 68. We set it, I don't know when we set it to this value, but we set it to 68. All right, our ball health is from 0 to 100, but our percent, where is it? It's here, is from 0 to 1. So what we want to do is to get our health bar and then grab it and type set percent. All right, set the percent and then grab it to here. So what we want to do is to make sure that the health value is not an integer, it's a float. All right, make sure this one, the health value, is a float. And after that, we want to bring our health value, because it's 100, we want to divide it by a float. All right, float divide by float. So bring it here and then take this to here and make sure that this value in here is 100, because for example, if you have 100 in our health and we divide it by 100, we will get 1. All right, so the maximum will be 1 and minimum will be 0. So hit compile and then save, and we are done in here. We created our health UI and the coin UI custom event. All right, so now we are going to a place that we can use this custom UI events. All right, so hit compile and then save and get out. All right, after that, what we want to do is to go to every place that our coin and our health will be updated. All right, so first of all, what we want to do is to go to the BP ball mode and then open it up, and you see that in here we've got add coin. All right, so when did we use that add coin? Let me go to here and go to our coins, one of the coins, and then go to its blueprint. You can see that whenever we collected a coin, all right, whenever our ball hits the coin, it's gonna call that add coin function from the game mode. All right, and if you double click it, it's gonna take you to here. What it's gonna do is gonna add some coins to our coin value. All right, so in order to update our coin, all right, our ball must hit the coin, all right, and then the coin will call that function add coin in the ball mode that we created, and then in there it's gonna update our total coins. All right, we did that earlier. And after that, what we want to do is to make sure that in here, all right, when we update our coin, we want to call the function that we just created in order to update our coin UI. All right, but before we do that, we must have a way in order to connect to our player HUD. Okay, so we want to connect to our UI system and then call the function in the UI. All right, so go to the event graph. You remember in the last video we created the HUD. All right, we created the HUD and then we added it to the viewport, isn't it? So what we want to do is to, when we created the HUD, after that what we want to do is to just grab this pin and then type promote to variable. All right, just promote it to a variable and call it player HUD UI. Right, okay, player HUD UI, and then connect those and make sure to, let me remove that, make sure to connect those in here and then hit compile and then save and go to the add coin. After that, what we want to do in here before we end that function, we want to get our player HUD UI. All right, get it, and then grab the pin and then type update coin UI. You see that we can call the function that we just created. All right, update the coin UI, take it to here, take that one to here, and if you see that it looks like a mess, let me take those to be in here and then make some reroute nodes in order to see it better. Right, so right now what it does is that whenever our coin whenever we collect a coin, it's gonna call this function. All right, and that function will add the coin to our total coins, the coins that we have, and then after it adds it, we want to update our coin UI. All right, that's just that simple. Hit compile and then hit save, and we are done with updating our coin. All right, and right now we will start to update our health. Actually, before we update our health, let me see if our coin is working. All right. Okay, so it's not updating. All right, let me see what we have missed in here. Okay, let me go to here. Oh, we did not set the coin value. Okay, we want to set the coin value as well. So just grab this pin, one of this. Let me grab it in here. Right, you could also do it like this, grab it in here and put it there, right, just to make it a little bit much nicer. All right, we did not give it the value it needed. All right, hit compile and then hit save, and let me see if that works. Okay, it is working, but you can see that in the first time when we hit play, it's not updating it right away. It's 666 from the start, right? And if we update, if we collect a coin, then it will be updated for the first time. We will make sure that we will fix it later. All right, actually we could do it right now. All right, this is fairly easy. Just go to the player HUD and then go to in here in the event construct. So event construct means that whenever the the player HUD has been created. All right, so whenever it has been created, what we want to do is to just call the update coin UI, right, and also update the update health UI. Oh, sorry, update health UI. Yes, and let's see if that would work. All right, so we say that whenever this UI has been created on the screen, all right, we want to update the coin immediately and also update the health immediately. So if I hit compile and then save, and you can see that our coin starts from 0 and our health starts from 0 as well. That is because we did not set our health. All right, so we did not set our health UI system totally. All right, so we are setting it right now and the problem will be solved. All right, because right now it gets a health value of 0 That's why it's gonna do it. Just it is not something important. All right, we will do it right now. Okay. Okay, let's do it. I don't know why, but I'm rushing. Okay, let's start.